three guys that are the
Who'd
top.
you keep?
I kept that. So I kept Devontae Adams, Brees
Okay.
Hall, and I don't remember who the other guy is.
We played in a keeper league for years, and then one guy had Emmitt Smith and Thurman Thomas, and won like 4 years in a row. We said that's the end of the keeper league.
It's gonna be an interesting thing because it's like I draft third, and the top three players that have not been kept. Believe it or not, Jalen Hurts wasn't kept. Bijan, obviously, and Garrett Wilson. So I have a few. I'll get one of those guys.
So does everybody have to keep 3?
You got to keep 3, and you can keep if you have a rookie, you can keep 4.
Okay.
But
in our league,
I
you
had
didn't have to
Antonio
keep
Gibson
anybody.
as an option. I was like, I don't need them. I don't need him. I'll go find another running back.
Yeah, in our league, you had to keep up to 2, but you didn't have to keep 2.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
So it was fun.
right.
I'll let you know how it goes on a future update.
Awesome. We'll have you back regularly during the NFL season.
I hope it's your best team.
Are you 10 for 10 in that league, Tim?
We are 10 for 10 in that league. But
Awesome.
we'll see how it goes in our draft league. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. First game tomorrow night. We kick off. So
Do you recommend going through a whole draft, not picking a defense or a kicker? Because that's what I did. I just streamed it.
I've heard a lot of people do that. My son wanted to do that, but the league that he was in, they made them draft a kicker and a defense.
I believe when it comes to kicker, defense, or tight end, you should have a line drawn in the sand wherever you would like it. And once it goes past that, if you don't get one of the top 3 tight ends, there's no reason
move
to
on.
not take anybody but the 12th tight end.
Right.
In the same way, I believe on defenses. If you can roll out with Cowboys, Eagles, or Bills, or Niners, well, those are great to have. If you don't get one of those, you might as well take the Titans later on.
Yeah.
Or the Falcons.
I actually did sign the Falcons as a backup. I have.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, in one of the leagues, I have. I want to say it's the Eagles. It's somebody who has like a week 5 bye, and best matchup was like, I'll take the Falcons as
There you
that
go.
backup.
Well, speaking of the Falcons, the only division we haven't covered so far is the NFC South. So let's get into it. Starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Proud of combined 29 wins NFC South last year.
Yeah, NFC South.
Yeah.
Is it going to be just as weak this year?
Probably.
Well, Tampa Bay. Let's start with Tampa.
They
They're
do- well,
rebuilding, right?
Tampa Bay's rebuilding, and it's going to be, they did what they wanted to do. They went and got a Super Bowl, right? They got Tom and all those guys, and so now we're gonna see what happens with our good friend Baker Mayfield and what he can do. But if he, they do have a couple guys on that team. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
Couple of good receivers.
Yeah, they have a couple guys. I mean, you just throw the ball in Mike Evans' direction, and chances are he's going to come get it. I mean, he's got 9 seasons with 1,000 yards, so he must be doing something right.
He's made a few people household names.
He sure has. So
Johnny Football.
Johnny Football, yeah.
We wouldn't even know who that was if it wasn't for Mike Evans.
well, and if Mayfield goes out and plays like he did in his first year, what's to say in a very very bottom of the barrel division, if you will. However,
That's
all
one way to
these-
say it.
It's bottom of the barrel. But all these teams have easy schedules too, right? New Orleans
Easier.
and Atlanta have the 2 easiest schedules in the league, strength of schedule. So if you look at that, you've got a chance to potentially do something. And nobody's paying attention to Tampa. Everybody thinks that they're going to fail. They're over under 6.5 wins. So it's Vegas doesn't have a lot of confidence in them. However, if these 2 guys get going, the only thing that concerns me, I guess, is Todd Bowles. Doesn't scare me as a coach.
No,
Yeah,
he's,
I would agree with that.
he's not. You're not thinking going into a game, wow, this guy's going to outsmart my
He's gonna
entire
No.
sideline. I agree with you as far as the 2 weapons he has, but my main thing is that I think Brady, even last year, I think he led the league in attempts and completions. As a very old guy, he was pumping them out there left and right. I don't see Baker pumping them out there at the same level.
Right.
And it's an old team. This was a very good team that Jameis Winston was in charge of. They really haven't added that many pieces, and they're just slowly falling into the abyss. So
I mean, and their running game isn't going to be.
I don't see anything
I don't
happening
either.
there that I'm excited about. So
Speaking of nothing excited about, how about New Orleans?
New Orleans,
They've got people hurt. Kamara's hurt, right?
Kamara
He's
suspended.
Yep.
And then you've got Carr, and so those are
They
the
paid
two.
a lot of money for Derek Carr, didn't they?
They did, and I mean, Carr is technically the best quarterback in the division. I don't know how good they are. Olave. Everybody's in love with Olave. Everybody was in love with Michael Thomas. I'm not sure Michael Thomas is ever going to come back to that level, but
He may not. However, do you think if you take Olave and Thomas as a 1-2 receiver core, is there a better 1-2 receiver core, wide receiver anywhere else in that division? I mean, after you get
in that division, well, I mean, probably with Tampa Bay because the Panthers traded everybody away,
Right.
And our quarterback hasn't thrown any passes, so to call the first and second
don't
string
know,
anything.
we might have we might have one of those games where there's 3 passes thrown in for a certain team. in
Like you
Atlanta.
said, the bottom feeder of the division.
Well, but the thing is Carr is a pretty good quarterback, and
He's not bad.
you're
He's going to put it up there.
He is, and that defense, top 10 scoring defense in the last 3 years, the Saints have. So, and that Saints defense is going to still be good this year.
One thing I've noticed, I think, and you can fact check me at home, but it seems like Carr always gets focused on one guy, and he decides I'm throwing it to that guy. I don't care who else is open on the team. So if you end up with an Olave as far as fantasy or
he could
something
go
like
crazy.
that, he could get 17 targets a game.
Yeah, and I think that's why
he does get
they
fixated.
look at that, and because of that scoring defense, you've got them and the easiest strength of schedule. They got them at 9.5 wins.
Would we say the Saints are the best defense in the
division?
Right now?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody is scaring anybody. There's, the 76 Steelers definitely aren't on this list, but
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Again,
Right.
it's a tough division in the fact that it's going to be fun to watch from a standpoint that's they still got a long way to go as a division. It's not going to be like the AFC North or the AFC East where they're just going to slug each other every week.
Yeah.
But they're going to slug. But this Carolina-Atlanta matchup this week, it's going to be a fun one.
Yep. So let's talk a little bit about Carolina. They've got some injuries too. They got a rookie quarterback. They got Brooke Burns on a holdout, right? He doesn't know if he's going to play tomorrow night or Sunday.
And I heard on the way on my drive in that their 2 wide receivers are possibly hurt, Thielen and
Shark.
and Chark.
Yeah.
So if you got a rookie quarterback who you already thought his wide receivers weren't very good, and then those guys are sick, not so good.
Yeah,
So-
they came off of last year, and there was a lot of people that were high on Carolina. And in the offseason, people were like, "Oh, Carolina, their defense looks good. Gonna have Bryce coming in. It's gonna be an awesome team." And as the summer's gone along, they do nothing for me.
No.
They just
If Burns doesn't play, even Desmond Ritter should have a field day.
yeah, and they're over under 7.5. I'm taking the under on that all day long.
On Carolina?
Yeah.
Me too. I would too.
I don't see where they're not the worst team.
All right,
know.
so let's move on to our birds.
What?
A lot of offensive potential there.
We capitalize P. That's for potential. here in this.
Potential.
Yeah,
I really believe, and Brent, we talked about this a little bit on the show last week when you weren't here, that Desmond Ritter doesn't have to be the best quarterback in the league. He has to be a facilitator, more like a point guard, and distribute the ball to a lot of good quality athletes. And Atlanta, from what I've read, has the best offensive line in the National Football League.
Atlanta's got a great offensive line. They've got a lot of position players, and it's really just going to come down. It's going to come down. What do we know that Arthur Smith is going to do? He's going to run the ball. He's going to run the ball. Everybody knows that. There's no hiding it. He's going to run the ball. Why did we go out and get, when we should be building the team and pick up the best player in the league from a defensive standpoint that was available, and we go get another running back when we got Tyler Algier and everything that way? This is going to be a story of a team where if they come out and they go over their 8.5 over-under wins and they somehow win the division and get into the playoffs, it's going to be like, yep, you did just that. Ritter didn't lose any games for you. They ran the ball. They were very effective. Or it's going to be a story of Yep, you went out and got all these great position players in the last 3 years in the draft, and you lost again. And you can't win games by running the ball. And Ritter's not the quarterback. And why didn't you go get the best defensive player and spend the money on Lamar Jackson when you could have? That's going to be one of the two things that happens.
Thank God we do not have Lamar Jackson. Out of everything that would just make me cry as a Falcons fan, if we had Lamar, I'd be crying myself to sleep every night, because then we would have no money for anybody else doing anything. I tell you, I was looking at this the other day, and, they drafted Bijan, right? And you're not sure how great the team might be. So you think, well, you don't want to run him into the ground, right? Because you, as a fan, are thinking about how good Bijan might be 5 years from now. Guess who's not concerned about that? This was my epiphany. The coaching staff, who's lost 2 straight seasons. If they don't win, they're not going to be around in 4 years. So it really won't matter. So I think you are getting ready to see, a jockey riding Secretariat go into the whip early. I think he's going to get 1 billion touches. I think Algiers going to do just fine behind him. And I just see a lot of carries. Every time I think the Falcons are going to mess this up somehow and not give him all those carries, I don't see how they can. I think 13, 14 carries and at least 7 attempted passes to him a game minimum.
It's going to be so much fun to watch him. I can't wait. I'm going to the game Sunday. I can't wait to watch him play. I mean, it's going to be a ton of fun. Where I'm wondering is this a year? What kind of year is this for Kyle Pitts? Is this a big year for him, or is this a year where he's just doing his job and blocking as a true tight end?
Well, I heard somebody say that if he doesn't get 1,000 yards, it's not a good year. But he doesn't have to get 1,000 yards with this offense. There's enough weapons in this offense that if he catches 800 yards and 5 touchdowns,
absolutely,
and the Falcons are 11-6, what does it matter how well Kyle Pitts has done?
I used to always make fun of how easy it would be to be a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys back in the early 90s when you go Emmett, and then fake Emmett, Irvin's wide open. At some point in time, not trying to say that we have Emmitt Smith in the backfield, but we're going to be so run heavy with our guys. Play action.
These guys are going to get
Drake
there.
London should be wide open. Pitts should be wide open, on a regular basis. So should be easy dump passes, and hopefully it comes to fruition.
There's a ton of people that are excited about this opening weekend game, and I'm one of them. I can't wait to see how he does.
I can't either. I'm very excited. All right, let's get on to commercial number 2. Then we're going to get into some picks for the divisions and go into the Super Bowl.
Supreme Lending was founded in 1999 with one goal in mind: to improve the mortgage process. Since then, we've been doing just that. Here we deliver exceptional service and some of the fastest turn times in the industry. Our team will stay in touch with you throughout the process and get your home closed quickly and conveniently. Whether you are buying or refinancing, our goal is to have your loan clear to close in 30 days or less so that you can focus on all the other things that are going on. Whether it's your first mortgage or your 1,000th, make it Supreme. Find us at alvinjameson.com or give us a call at 865-357-6500.
And thank you, Alvin, also for being a sponsor of Three Guys Who Love Sports, as we do love sports, and we appreciate you sponsoring us. All right.
Alvin loves sports, too.
Yeah,
Yes,
by the way,
does.
going back to my keeper league, the third guy I didn't know is Drake London.
Oh, wow.
Which, once again, he should be wide open a lot of times.
There's going to be games where he's going to he's going to just be launched. He's just be gone down the field. People aren't.
Well, you just fake block. He's going to block 12 plays in a row, and then when he fakes the block and runs, he should be wide.
All right. So let's pick our division winners. We're going to start off in the AFC, just like we did our discussions of the divisions, and we're going to start out with the AFC North. Robert, who you got?
I got computer issues. What am I doing? I'm going AFC North?
Yeah.
AFC North.
I am going to take the Ravens just to be different. I think it's the Bengals division to lose, but I am not sold on Mr. Mixon anymore. I believe he's been toting the rock a long time, and I have big I think J.K. Dobbins is going to have a big season. So we'll see how that works out.
This is going to be fun because this is going to be all over the board. I can tell you right now. This is going to be fun. So you got the Ravens as winning.
And I
the North.
hate the Ravens.
Okay.
I think I'm going to have to stick with the Bengals. I think Joe's going to be playing starting tomorrow, and I think
Hopefully not tomorrow.
or Sunday. Yes, thank you. And I think going to be ready to roll. I just think it's going to be a very competitive division. I think the Ravens will put up a fight. If I had to pick a second place team, that's who I'd pick. I don't see Deshaun Watson being the answer in Cleveland.
What?
Might be wrong, but we'll see.
What?
How about you, Brent?
Well, I'm going to do that. I got Cincy as winning that division as well, and but I do have two playoff teams from that division, so we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. AFC East, Brent's favorite division.
AFC East, the winner of the AFC East is going to be the fastest team in the NFL on both sides of the ball, which is the Miami Dolphins.
Brent takes the Dolphins.
I thought they were a fast team, but when you started that, I was like, God, I hope he doesn't tell me the Patriots are the fastest team.
I would never have told you that. I would never tell you that even during 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Super Bowl seasons. I wouldn't have said that.
Lord have mercy.
Okay.
I think the AFC East winner is going to be the New York Jets. I think with Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall running the rock, and I think Aaron's got some people to throw to. And we know how well the Jets defense plays. So I'm going to go out there and say, give me the Jets Jets.
There's so many people that are excited about that defense and then what Aaron Rodgers could do. But that offensive line isn't phenomenal.
No,
And they're
it's
in a
not.
division with two really good teams, just to be completely different. Because I'd be leaning just almost to the Dolphins, but I will take the Bills.
Yeah, I knew you'd take the Bills. Almost right now.
You know, Bills still don't have that lights out running back that they've been needing and wanting. But I think Mr. Kincaid is going to catch a lot of passes in the red zone and kind of be a new focal point for
He
him.
will be good for them.
And Sean's a big Jets fan, but I talked to Sean before the show tonight. He's actually taking the Dolphins. That's a lot of speed down there in Miami.
Remember,
is.
only 7 teams get to go to the dinner table. 7, that's it.
And, you know, the guy
Yeah.
who's the third string running back for the Dolphins right now, he's available everywhere, is the rookie.
A-Chain?
Yep. And at the end of the day, you still have Fournette's not signed with anybody.
Correct.
Kareem Hunt's not signed. And
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. So, you know, whatever we throw out, if you throw Jonathan Taylor on one of these teams, that's going to be a big change.
Be a
in
huge
this.
change. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if I got A-Chain or not, but I think somebody picked him up in our league. I was going to in the later round.
Well,
But he's a
maybe
good
Atlanta
running
will
back.
pick up another running back. Maybe they can get a couple more.
Who, Atlanta?
Yeah, why not? Right?
Why
I
not?
got the ball.
Professional kickboxer Kareem Hunt?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Let's move on to the AFC West. Another weak division, another strong division, or somewhere in the middle.
Super Bowl defending division. I'll take the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's hard not to go with the Chiefs.
Definitely not going Vegas or Denver.
No, and it's so funny. Chris Jones came out today and said, I want to play. Yeah,
Correct.
he's been as solid as
Yeah.
zero, not saying anything until today, and I want to play.
Hey.
So he kind of lost his leverage a little bit, didn't he?
Maybe so, but you know, I get it. You know, you bust your hump, and yeah, you want money and you want this guaranteed contract. I also don't want to miss opening game when they
Raise
unfurl the banner and
There you
everything
go.
else. I want to be out there in the middle of the
Get
field.
my
So-
ring, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I got KC as well. However, they are not the number 1 seed since he's won KC 2.
Yes, they are.
How good are the Chargers? Will they make the playoffs? Everybody's
We'll
been
find out who's going to pick them here in a little bit. But
everybody's been hopeful for him for the last few years, and I don't know. It's just
Only 7 teams can make the dinner table.
I heard that.
Brent's
once.
very excited about that. Yeah.
Wait, you're gonna be excited.
All right,
We will see.
you ready?
Yeah. What are we going?
Jacksonville.
Are we going to the South now?
I'm going with the best team in the worst division in
Yeah.
all of football. Those two Southern divisions are not very good, and I think the AFC South wins
You're
by losing more.
You're gonna hate me, and you're gonna completely disagree with me. I got Tennessee. and Jacksonville missing the playoffs.
Wow. I want to hear the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, I think that I think that Tennessee's better coached right there, and I think that they got some weapons, and I just think, hey, listen, Trevor Lawrence is going to be phenomenal. You know, Calvin Ridley, everybody's excited about that. We haven't seen him play in a while.
Second round pick.
At a high level. I just think that they're going to score a lot of points, and they're obviously playing in the NFC South. But can they get to
AFC South?
They play the NFC South too.
Oh, they played the NFC South. I said in the AFC.
But you just look at some of those games and how can they get there? And this AFC group, there is so much talent, and I think there's going to be some. You know, there's always fallout every year, and I think that's what's. I don't think Jacksonville makes.
Tell me
it.
this: Have you ever seen Rocky IV?
I have.
And that's with Ivan Drago. Well, they're going to have to start giving Tannehill drugs like Ivan Drago for them to win that conference or that division. Because
you think,
that is not a good team.
You think Henry's going to carry the load in Tennessee? Then obviously, huh?
Well, you got Traylon. I think he's a pretty exciting player to watch too, and we'll see where he comes. It's going to be interesting. Again, it's one of those things where only 7 can make it, and if these teams get tight records and stuff, I think there's going to be some teams that get left out and teams that get squeezed in because of I think there'll be some big ties coming down the stretch.
How many teams make playoffs?
Only 7.
That's what I thought I heard. 7's correct.
I heard that number somewhere earlier too.
It's all around there. All right, I'm going to go with Jacksonville too. I think Trevor makes a step up. I like ATN. They've got a pretty good receiving core down there now.
Falcons are preying on that.
Yep. Better Ridley plays, a better pick we get, right?
That's it. That's it.
Yep. So I like Jacksonville. I'm on Robert's side in this. If I had to pick a number 2 team, it would be Tennessee. But, I mean, there's so many good quarterbacks in the AFC. I mean, just look at all the good quarterbacks in the AFC.
And not to throw our guests under the bus, but you don't have to say you're on Robert's side on this one. You can just say, and I'm with the other 98% of the world.
I think 98 might be a little high.
I don't know.
I think you probably say 98 because I was listening to Peter King today, and he's got Jacksonville number 1 in the AFC, which
but that's because Jacksonville gets to play these other 3 horrible teams twice each.
That's right.
That doesn't hurt.
So do we want to go ahead and pick the AFC champs, or do we want to go to the NFC and then pick the playoffs?
You're going to pick the other playoff teams in the AFC, or
How do you want to do
I'm
it?
just following your lead, baby.
All right, let's stick with the AFC then. Let's pick the 7 teams from the AFC.
all right.
All right. Brent, who you got?
My number 6 team.
Number 6 team. What happened to 7?
Oh, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 5.
Okay.
Number 5 team. Coming out of the AFC North, the Steelers, baby. Steelers.
All
You
right.
got the Bengals and the Steelers coming out.
Brent's got who?
I think it's gonna. I mean, Pickett and Pickens. I think it's gonna be fun.
So you said the
Najee.
Steelers and
Steelers and Cincy coming out.
Cincy. Okay. And Robert, who did you say?
Do you want my 7 teams?
Just out of that division.
Oh, you want my other 2?
What division do we start with? The
AFC
North? I've got the Ravens and Bengals both coming out of there.
That's what I have. Ravens and Bengals out of there. Is that right? Hang on.
So they can.
Unless you doubled down on Deshaun.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Ravens and
do it.
Bengals. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And in the NFC, the AFC East, Brent's already picked the Dolphins.
And the number 6 team is going to be the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I thought that might be coming.
Like I said, it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting look. They're going to have a lot of fun this year.
I'm going Bills and Dolphins.
And I'm going Jets and Bills. All right. The West.
Go West, young man. I'm going Andy Reid, and I'm also going to go Mr. Herbert, San Diego. sneaking in with that final playoff spot. I predicted him in the last few years.
It's
I
a
might
good
as well
pick.
just
You might
keep
as well
going
stick with it. I'm going to go I'm going with my 7th team out of the AFC West as well.
So you got KC and who else?
He's going Denver.
I'm going Denver with Sean Payton, baby.
Wow.
I think they're going to have a. I think they're going to start. They're going to struggle to figure it out the first 2 or 3 games, but they're going to come down and they're going to surprise some people down the end.
Does the Sean Payton Kool-Aid get delivered straight to your house, or do you have to go buy it somewhere?
If we were,
Well, you know what? They brought him in. They brought him in for next year. Obviously, they're going to grow that. But sometimes things happen out of that first year, and hey, I think
you're dead wrong on that one. I mean, when you have a really, really, really old quarterback, I don't think they're bringing him in for next year. I think it's, can you salvage this ship
can
quick?
you get it done? I think he's going to surprise some people.
if we were
That's my
picking
long
March
shot.
Madness brackets, your bracket would be toast.
Oh, see.
No, he might have a good first day because all the crazy things happen. But
So
then
Robert,
yes,
your
no.
7th team is Jacksonville,
Yes, correct.
and Brent, how are you going to have a? Oh, they're your 7th team too. No, Tennessee's your 7th team.
Correct.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, good to go. And I got the Jets, the Bills, Kansas City, Bengals, Ravens, and Jacksonville. And I'm missing one, aren't I?
Nope, you're good.
You good?
2 from each and 1 from that. 1 from the south.
I thought you had to have 7 teams.
You do have to have 7 teams.
Yeah.
Were you going to pick the Chargers in the West?
No.
2, 4.
No, this is not 4. That's Kansas City again.
I think you're missing the Chargers in the West.
I'm not picking the Chargers in the West.
Then who's your last wild card? Well, that's the question.
Probably the Dolphins.
Miami, 3 out of the East.
3 out of these.
Okay. All right.
Happens a lot.
All right. Let's move on to the NFC. Oh wait, who's coming out of the AFC? Who's the AFC champion?
I think it's going to be a really fun AFC Championship game when the Miami Dolphins go to Buffalo for the right to go to the Super Bowl, and I'll take the Bills. I'll take home field advantage in January in Orchard Park to get that one done.
You're going to go with the Bills.
Bills over Dolphins,
All right.
Orchard Park.
All right, Brent, your
I'm gonna
AFC
go-
team.
I'm going to go with Cincy.
All right.
There won't be anybody who dies on the field or come close to dying, and we get like games postponed or suspended this year, will there?
I'm going to stick with
I hope
KC.
not.
All right. NFC. Here we go. Out of the North.
Out of the North,
Okay.
Rock City, baby.
Minnesota. Detroit?
Detroit, Rock City. You gotta lose
Oh,
your
so
mind
now
to
you're thinking that
Detroit.
his bracket's busted
Rock
now.
City.
I would have picked Minnesota. I mean, do you have Minnesota going to the playoffs?
We'll find out here
We're
in a
going to find
moment.
out.
I have Minnesota winning the division.
I would have Minnesota winning the division too.
That's because you
Brent?
guys are underestimating the 8 out of 10 that
You know, I got to
Lions
tell you,
won down the stretch.
this one I went all over went crazy on because, yeah, I like Detroit. I think Detroit could be the highest scoring offense in the league this year. They could be phenomenal. And I started looking at that, and then it was like, man, you know what? I think what a story for Green Bay to do something special this year because. You
It
know,
would be.
Andrew Luck's gone. I mean, sorry, Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck, of course, is gone. But
He's
Aaron Rodgers-
way
He's
gone.
gone.
He's
too.
gone. Aaron Rodgers is gone, and Green Bay's excited. Jordan Love's excited. This could be a fun year to be able to make the playoffs when you couldn't get there with Rodgers. So that's a fun story. But then I looked at
But then I changed.
not Chicago, but Minnesota, and they got a ton of talent on there. And yeah, they won some really dumb games last year that they shouldn't have won. But hey, that's what winners do, and they win those games. I think they stay on that train. Minnesota wins the division.
Ah.
Brent is right. Winners do win games.
Winners do win.
Exactly.
All right. NFC East. I'm sorry, NFC East.
Wait,
It's still going to be the Miami Dolphins in the AFC East.
Yeah. NFC East. I'm going Eagles.
I'll go the Eagles as
Same.
well.
Hard to hard to defend the best offensive and defensive line. I mean, it's a solid team.
It's a really good team.
And we'll talk about the Lions. I think we got a game coming up that they're playing this weekend. That's a tough opening matchup.
They could have the best quarterback in football. Nobody'd be surprised if you said they had the best defense in football.
You think Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in football?
He could be
I think
because he's running unlike the people who are usually listed above him, whether it be Burrow, Allen, or Mahomes. This guy's got a couple younger years on his legs, and man, he's impressive when he's impressive.
They got a defensive team that's all played together before too, right?
So
All
good.
right.
So good.
NFC West.
Gotta go the Niners.
Same. Solid defense. Challenging division.
Arizona's already basically said we will have the number 1 pick by saying we're starting Dobbs in week 1.
Joshua Dobbs in week 1. Been with the team
And,
2 weeks.
And nobody thinks Stafford can't relate with the young kids anymore.
Does
the Rams-
does that
Rams-
minimize your confidence in Arizona of picking any of their offensive players for a fantasy league?
Not at all. I will say this, and especially since my drafts are all done, somebody like Hollywood Brown is a beautiful pick because they've got to throw to somebody. So you look at their best wide receiver. I don't care who's throwing to him. He's going to get 150, 160 targets. So it does not minimize that for me.
Is that why you tried to trade me Hollywood Brown for Tyler Algier?
Yes. No, also because you're going to need a backup because when Bijan goes down, you're going to reach you at Algier.
Algier,
That's
there you go.
That's a different story.
The other thing too, like if you're if you're playing daily fantasy, there's going to be weeks when Connor is worth starting there too.
I hate that guy.
Well, I don't know if you're not going to have him over for Thanksgiving, but he might score you some points.
Once you've had your fantasy season killed by somebody before, it's like, how's this guy? Oh, he's garbage.
All right,
I don't want
NFC
him.
South. Give me my birds.
Give me them coons. Number 1 in your heart, number 1 on the piece of paper. Go ahead and say it.
Saints.
Saints.
All right, New Orleans for birds.
So
When
listen.
the brand goes marching out.
This is kind of a show me week, right?
Yeah.
You got to show me, right? I don't have the Jets making the playoffs. Yeah, you need to show me. The Jets haven't beaten New England since Obama was president. You got to show me. Same thing with the Falcons. You're gonna have to show me. I'm excited for the team. I can't wait to see them play, but they're gonna have to show me.
All right, playoff teams coming out of the NFC North.
Green Bay,
That's it for you?
NFC North. Oh well, I already called Minnesota.
I got you.
So Minnesota and then Green Bay is going to be a wild card team. I have them as the 7th seed.
Okay. Robert?
I'm going to go Minnesota. 6 seed.
And I, too, will just go Minnesota. All right. NFC East.
Cowgirls. That is one of the best 5 defenses. Pollard is going to get the rock a lot. And I think everybody's going to get fired at the end of the year.
Yeah, I
Philly
think-
and Dallas for you, too?
No, it's not. I think everybody's going to get fired at the end of the year because Dallas misses the playoffs because Giants get in. I think that
Philly and the
schedule for
Giants.
Giants, that team has done so much. They got so much talent, and it's going to be so close. But it's one of those. I just don't know how that offense is gonna roll. I mean, Pollard. Yeah, I love that guy, but I just
But
don't know
you've
how.
got faith in Daniel Jones.
You picked a team with no receivers
I like
over the Cowboys?
I like him, man. I like him.
Name a Giants
They made the
receiver.
playoffs last
Name a
year.
Giants receiver.
This is not the 9 the Giants schedule. We are trying to pick playoff teams. All right, from the West.
Add the Sea Chickens onto my list. That's going to be the final team in the playoffs.
Same with me. I got Seattle making some coming in. as
Seattle
the
and San Fran.
6th.
Yep.
You still got 2 more, Brent. Robert.
No, I don't. I got Dallas and Philadelphia. I've got Minnesota and Detroit. I've
Oh,
got.
I didn't have you as Detroit. Okay.
I've got San Fran and Seattle, and then I got those lovable Falcons, baby.
All right. And Brent, you've got Minnesota. You've got Green Bay, Minnesota, Philly, New York Giants.
I appreciate the pause for effect.
Philly, Minnesota, New Orleans, 49ers, Giants, Seattle, Green Bay.
49ers. Okay. All right. I'm missing one. I got Green Bay, Minnesota, Philly, New York Giants, New Orleans, 49ers, and the Seahawks, right?
You picked the Giants over the Cowboys too?
I'm going over his list.
Okay.
Pay
Okay.
attention.
You said I'm missing one. I assumed you
I'm
were
missing
talking
one
about
for
your-
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Almost
I actually
almost
have
had
the
a complete
Cowboys in my
freak
list.
out-
Good.
A freak
Yeah.
out
Thank
moment.
you.
This is
I have
the
Minnesota,
fun. The
Philly,
Cowboys
Dallas,
are-
Seattle, San Francisco, and the Falcons.
I just love watching Cowboys fans get wound up. It's
All right.
gonna, it's gonna be, it's gonna happen.
All right, and who comes out of the NFC this year?
I don't know how I can say with a straight face anybody but the Eagles. I'll say it's going to be the same as last year. Eagles over Niners in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and I've got the Eagles and the Niners in the championship game too, but somehow 49ers win that game.
Surprised you didn't have the Giants in the NFC Championship game.
Well, you know, I didn't want you to go completely ballistic.
I thought
on
he was
this.
going to go Giants,
Packers,
Patriots,
Giants,
Patriots for the Super Bowl.
I'm going Kansas City and San Francisco in the Super Bowl.
Ah,
A lot of faith in that Purdy quarterback and Christian McCaffrey, and they've got a pretty good set of receivers out there too. All right, who wins it?
I've got San Francisco winning it over Cincy.
All right. Oh, I thought you had Philly going.
Nope, I
All right.
had San Francisco going.
All right. San Francisco over Philly? I mean over Cincy?
Correct.
Okay. You've got the Bills in Philly.
My rubber stamp, Buffalo Bills.
There you go.
And just to be different, I'm going to stick with KC. Until they're beat, they're not beat. So.
Okay.
All right. We got some picks to make. Let's get our last commercial from American Axis.
Tired of going to the same old places for the same old thing? American Access has your solution. Whether you're looking for something new to do before or after the game, bachelor or bachelorette parties, or a work outing that will have them all talking at the water cooler for years, American Access, with their 3 Atlanta locations in Marietta, Tucker, and now in downtown at the Works, they've got your answer to the same old, same old. Look us up at American Access or give us a call at 678-763-3635 to schedule your next adventure.
And thank you, Dan, for being the sponsor as well. So we've got 3 great sponsors, and Dan obviously sponsors our pick segment because now we not only give Chuck's losers, we give the loser the axe. So the American Axe.
It's coming for you.
We're coming for you, baby. All right.
Sean Payton, let me see you.
I think there's a lot of people that think I'm going to get the axe on these picks, but we'll see.
No, we're going to see. All right. We're going to go back to skip to college for a minute. Notre Dame, who looks very good, by the way, one of the teams that does look good, laying 7.5 at NC State.
I'll take Notre Dame minus the 7.5, and I'd also like to slide them into that role where I said Clemson would be the last team into the Final Four. I'd like to take that pick away if I could, please.
Robert
can't.
will be through.
Yeah, this is that second week we were talking about earlier. Not a lot of big matchups again. It's typically a week when these teams are going to just cruise over the lines. I'm going to pretty much go chalk on all these except for one, so I'll take Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Well, unfortunately for you guys, I don't pick the winners. I pick the losers. So I'm going to give American Axe to the NC State Wolfpack. So I think
The Pack got the axe.
I think Notre Dame will cover. Yeah, I think Notre Dame will cover. So second game, probably the big one of the weekend. Texas getting 7 at Alabama. Very close game last year.
Very
1-point
close
game.
last
Yeah.
year.
Texas going down.
I'm with you. I think Saban's got an axe of his own, and I'm not going against Bama at home.
No way. You got it. Alabama wins that one, and they got a point to prove.
I would make the argument for Texas. I mean, Jalen Milroe hasn't looked that good historically,
Nope.
and Quinn Ewers in that Texas offense could.
And he's got a new haircut. He doesn't have the mullet anymore. Now he's just got a shaved head. He looks like a completely different guy.
I think Texas could take down Alabama.
All right, so in a top 25 matchup game, the Rebels -7.5 at the Green Wave of Tulane.
You got to go Tulane, even though you don't think they're going to win. One, because it's fun to watch Larry smile that big, and
You're
two,
taking Tulane
I'm taking Tulane.
plus the points. All right.
I'm calling them to win outright. They're going to
Wow.
come through and get the W.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ole Miss on that one.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Have you ever been to an Ole Miss game?
No, but I heard the
No.
Grove is a fabulous place to go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We gotta check
That'd
it
be
out.
fun. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna chop the wave in half. The Green Wave gets the American Axe. I think Ole Miss put up a lot of points this weekend, didn't they?
They did. They put up 73.
Yeah.
one
So
of those
Tulane
crazy
gets
amounts.
the Axe. All right, Brent. This must be the one you're not going chalk on. I would have to guess.
Yeah.
Nebraska and Colorado.
It kind of goes back to the theme of show me. I want to see this a couple more times, and it's like it was so much fun to watch this past week.
It was.
But are we gonna? Is this if we're gonna do this all year? This is gonna be so much fun to watch. I want to see them do it again, but until they do, I'm gonna take Nebraska in the points.
You're
Nebraska
taking
plus the
Nebraska?
3.5.
And
Hey, Robert?
I don't think that we're going to get to see this all year, but dang, Nebraska's a bad team. I've been watching them get rid of decent coaches for a long time. I got to ride with
Prime time. Yeah, this was a toss-up for me. I really don't know because I'm on the train that Colorado's not going to go 11-0, but I don't know that Nebraska is the one they're going to beat. But I'm going to go with Nebraska as well. I'm going to take the points.
There's a lot of games.
No, actually, I'm going to take Colorado with the Axe. So
there's a lot of games Colorado's going to be able
Goes
to
to
lose
Colorado.
this year. I just don't know that this is one
It
of
might
them.
not be.
yeah,
It very
might
well
not be, but we'll see. All right, let's move on to the pros. The first game of the season tomorrow night, Detroit getting 6.5 at Kansas City.
Give me them underdog Lions on the road while everybody's worried about pomp and circumstance, and Kelsey's wondering how far his knee's supposed to bend. I think Gibbs has a big first game.
Yeah, I like Detroit covering this one too, and it's going to be it's going to get loud in there. We're going to raise a banner. Kansas City is probably going to score their first two possessions or 2 out of 3, kind of come out with a lead, and then it's just going to settle down. Detroit will do what they got to do, and they're going to cover that 6.5.
I think I am going to give Kansas City the Axe. With the uncertainty of Chris Jones and with the uncertainty of Kelsey, Detroit's got a lot of offensive weapons, and as Robert said, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have a bust-out game in his very first game. So we give Kansas City Chiefs the All-American Axe. Second game, our Falcons against the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers getting 3.5. You know, we all talked about how bad we think the Panthers are going to be, and yet the Falcons are only getting laying 3.5. So
Well,
basically, they lay 3 because they're home.
Hey,
So are their rosters only a half point off?
The Falcons are the king of the 1 p.m. Sunday game. You know, we just play the game, and we're going to be at the. They're not going to again show me. We're going to have to show them. They're going to have to show some people this year.
And so who do you take?
Yeah, I mean, I think Atlanta's definitely going to win this game, and it's going to be by a field goal to end it. And Carolina covers 3.5.
Carolina covers 3.5. Robert?
hey, listen here, Sizzle Chest. If I could bet this game, I give you 17.5 points because that's what my boys are getting ready to do. Open up a can of Bijan. I'll take the Falcons all day long. Like I said, I don't care. You give me, you want 14 and a half. I don't care what you. I take them all day.
I'm giving the Axe. Carolina. I think the Falcons by at least 10.
I can't wait till you hit your pen and it explodes with ink in every direction.
Go Dan. All right. Two more games. Philly laying 4 at New England. Put that in there for Brent.
Appreciate that.
Not going to be a very cold and windy day in New England, but
No, it's not
what do
gonna
you
be
think,
fun
buddy?
today. You know, man, you couldn't have asked for a worse matchup for New England to open that up with Philly. They're such, like we talked about. I mean, what does Philly not good at? They're good at so many things. They got the best quarterback, the best offensive line, best defensive line, but Tom Brady's coming back.
Guess who's back?
He's going to get honored.
Butchin Brady.
Crowd's going to be fired up. Revamped, new stadium, largest scoreboard, largest lighthouse.
Largest scoreboard. That's what high schools go around claiming.
New England's probably going to cover the points, but they probably won't win.
okay. Robert?
I'm just saddened that a guy who's got more rings than anybody is concerned about the size of his scoreboard at this point. Just doesn't seem like the right level to be going to. I don't see how New England stays in this game. I mean,
I think they stay in it with their tough defense, and I think end of the night that Philly will get the axe. And like I agree with Brent, I think it'll be a 3-point game, and I think Philly will win. But I'm going to give the axe to Philly because I'm getting 4 points.
I don't think it'll be close, but I will say that I think the weakest spot on that Philadelphia roster is DeAndre Swift. You know, they do not have that hard-nosed starting running back, and I think, you know, but outside that, I think they're going to kill him.
Well, they don't
kill
have,
most people.
And there's a lot of question with New England's offensive line. It's been the whole thing this summer. However, what's not been a problem this summer is the last year, if you watch the chatter on this team, the offense was a complete disaster. The defense was they weren't sharp, and they beat themselves in a lot of games. And I think that it was not a New England identified year. And I think this year they're going to get back to their defensive form. I think they're definitely going to be able to run the ball if they can get the offensive line figured out. May not be week one, but I think they're going to surprise some people.
All right, and our last pick of the year, of the week.
Some really good Kool-Aid
Buffalo, Buffalo and the New York Jets. Buffalo's laying 2.5 in New York.
How big of a game is 9/11, opening Monday Night Football, Aaron Rodgers in a new city, the big bad Bills coming cross state? I just think what an incredible one. You know, anybody who tells you the computer just throws things out and these people are back. Oh, this would be a good game, wouldn't it? I'll take the Bills. I don't have any love for the Jets. I don't think the Jets are on the verge of shocking the world with anything they're going to do, but we'll see. I think there's a decent chance they might actually be the third best team in the division if they ball out. There's a chance they'd be the worst.
You take a look at the Jets' first 6 games. They
Brutal.
could go 0-4. I mean, you know, all of these AFC teams. I mean, New England could easily go 0-4. It could be ugly out of the gate, and I think that's when, you know, the Jets lose first 2 games. And we're looking at a meltdown in the locker room, and it's gonna be crazy.
You don't think when he looks at the camera and he's like, read my lips, RELAX. You don't think New York's gonna just fall in love with him like Green Bay did when
I'm sure the Times will go really easy on him.
Hey, I got a better idea. The relaxed man.
Yeah, I think they'll go easy on him, especially after Buffalo does cover that 2.5.
So
On 9/11.
On 9/11.
Yeah, Robert and Brent both take that. I'm going to take Buffalo too, but I'm giving Buffalo the axe.
You're giving the
If I'm
Jets
going
the
to pick the
axe.
Jets, no, I'm giving Buffalo the axe. Because if the Jets are going to win, they're going to cover. They're going to cover the 2.5. So I give Buffalo the axe.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Tell me this: does Aaron Rodgers cry during the pregame? They're gonna.
The over and under that is no.
It's gonna be whoever's big singing. There's gonna be planes.
I
and
saw him at the U.S. Open the other night watching that
They're
match.
gonna have the close up on him while they're checking around.
Well, you know, it's funny we talk about betting, and I heard a very funny stat today. We'll close with this: that there were more money on the Nebraska-Colorado game than there are on all the 16 pro games combined.
That's the biggest game.
Yeah.
Currently, it's because everybody's like, Nebraska's awful.
Everybody's jumping on the prom wagon. All right, guys.
Time.
Bren, what a great show, man. That was a lot of fun.
Guys. I had a lot of fun.
That
Thanks
was a lot
for
of
having
fun.
me. I appreciate
Oh,
it.
you bet.
Always.
Running a minute
we'll
late.
see how wacky my picks were in mid-season.
We'll talk about it next week. So guys, don't forget, take care of yourselves, protect yourselves, check your numbers, cover your ass. We'll see you next week on Three Guys Who Love Sports.
Yo, we'll just blame
We
yours
squeezed
on
a
you
lot
drinking
in
beer
an
while
hour.
you
Your
know
picks
what.
were terrible. I mean, they were awful. You picked Nebraska with Jeff Sims? You picked Nebraska?
Listen, you guys all know that I'm not the college guy, so I had to do all I could do to talk about the first segment.
Pat McAfee's the only one that took
You usually
Colorado.
don't walk into walls or doorways, so we're figuring you knew enough about Nebraska going into that.
Did you get your computer up, Larry?
Well, I had a theme. I started going down this theme of all right, the show me theme. So I'm like,
worst picks possible.
Yeah, it was strange. I
Worst
couldn't
picks
get the
possible.
camera to
You
go.
picked the Giants. With
The
what
camera went
receiving
off there,
core?
but 15 minutes in, the audio popped in.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
No receiving core.
He can't name a
And
Giant.
Rusty was
Nobody can
watching.
name a
He
Giant.
was giving you all
Don't they have a good
kinds
tight
of
end?
comments.
They have
Of course he
Darren
was.
Waller.
Yeah, I think he's going to be great.
I didn't share
Yeah,
them. But
I think he's going to be great.
Plus, he was talking about the dogs. Rush, you talking about the
No, he just gave you shit about Tack.
Oh, there's
Well,
so and so and so and so and so and so. What's his name's there? He's good.
Yeah, I mean,
What's
it
his
was.
name is good. Hold on.
So and so. I've got
my
I've got
nurse.
the whole list right here.
I said, there's my nurse. What up,
Give me
buddy?
your Giants receiver.
Number 1 is Isaiah Hodgins.
Do what?
Isaiah Hodgins is the number 1 receiver.
He's going to be great.
He's a stud. Then you do
I
have
think
somebody
I'm
who
telling
you've heard
you.
of, Darius
I
Slayton.
think we need to get together
Usually
as a
plays
league,
in
like
about
once a month
6
and watch a
games.
Monday night game. or
Yeah.
Then you have Paris Campbell,
I'm all for
cast
it.
off from the Colts.
Show up this
And
time.
the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well,
And then you've got more people that you've never heard of. Wandale.
Let's pick a game and just set it.
Robinson just because he played with Nebraska.
Too late to do next
Not
month.
very good.
It's really. I bet you Vegas makes a ton of money this year because it's so jumbled, and especially in the AFC. It's like how do you pick that chalk? I mean,
How do you pick anything?
I've listened to so many podcasts and nobody is lying. Everybody is like all over the board.
Jeff, let's do like the third or fourth Monday of the month.
Well, let's make sure it's a good game.
Well, I mean, if we got it the same
Well, the
time,
second
then
there's
everyone will keep showing
there's
up.
4 Mondays, like the second week of the season. There's 4 Mondays where there's 2 games.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, if we do it and say for the league, if we're going to do it on this particular day, then people can put it in their schedule.
I didn't think you would pick Seattle to go as a team.
The chickens.
Okay, I have to go to church.
All right.
Pray for his sins.
Do you need like a notification on your phone to remind you to breathe every morning?
Okay, sure, yeah. Could be fun.
It won't be. Walk away from the conversation.
Cleveland and Pittsburgh might be a good game.
Sims is the Nebraska quarterback. Jeff Sims. There's a reason he doesn't play at Georgia Tech anymore.
Okay.
And Georgia Tech is a bad team.
I will.
They beat Purdue.
I had the.
Probably not true.
I probably am way wrong on that. I don't know either one. Those. I didn't even watch the Colorado game.
Cincinnati
I do-
Jacksonville will be a good game to come watch.
Yeah, I didn't watch any college football. I was Saturday. I worked, and Sunday.
Watch football this week. My head. Today's the first day I haven't had a headache in 2 weeks.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday's not a football day for me. Sundays.
I know.
Can't wait.
That's why I put very little college in there. I was thinking
I
about.
appreciate it.
Yeah. That's going to be a fun weekend. Should be some good ball.
I want to say I saw that. Who is it? Jacksonville plays Houston, is it, or
Who's Jacksonville plays for you, Robert? He's pulling up quicker than I can.
the Jacksonville game was getting more money at Vegas than like even tomorrow night.
Let me see. Jacksonville and Indy.
Jacksonville.
In Indy.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Why not?
What's the spread on that game?
You're starting a rookie quarterback. I'm not on anything that shows the damn spread. Damn crazy.
I go to ESPN. They got the spreads on there. Laying 5.
5.
That might be my pick. That might be a pick. One of my picks for the tub. I'm going to think my number 1 pick for the tub is Minnesota laying 6. I think that's when I'm going to double against the Bucks.